Everywhere. I'm live. I'm live everywhere now. Okay, wonderful. So I'm just trying to set everybody up so everyone can kind of see what's going on. Okay. So psychic development. So just to do some shop talk. Um Next year is going to be super super big, super busy. Um so just to like give you the heads up as far as classes and stuff are concerned, if you have checked out this particular um, class, let me know because you can get a discount for any psychic services or classes that are coming up. Um, because my fees will be going up in January. Ooh. Um, but just like I said, if you watch this class and you told me that you watched this class, you can get a half off discount for next year. And also, if you plan ahead, so that means that if you plan it and schedule a session um, before the new year. So if you wanted a session, you wanted to get half off and you scheduled it now for April, you would get the discount just like that. Okay. So just for example. So this class is a multi-dimensional class, just to let you know how we do it. It's kind of like a little bit like the Waldorf School or something where there are many different levels of people who will attend this class, which is amazing and magical. Okay. Um, Meaning that there are people who I call like superheroes because I have many clients um, who are doing like amazing work. Okay. Or they're super creative and they're artists and they're doing amazing work. Hey, yay! I'm so happy that yeah. So there's a an amazing person that just came on Instagram right now. Another superstar. Hey, yes, um, yes. I was just saying how there's so many superstars that come to this, and superstars, superheroes, goddesses who are a part of my world, and I feel so honored and so blessed. And so that's why I've started to do um, this class because I want to make sure that everybody starts to, work on themselves and, um, you know, I don't want to say evolve in a certain way, but grow. Let's say grow in a certain way. Because there are so many things that are coming up in this world, and we really do need to support each other. And so that's why I want to give this class for free and allow people to understand what's going on. So right now, and this class, when I also say that this class is psychic development and that it is multidimensional, it means that I will go from different topics to different topics. I will go from something that is really like blow your minds philosophy to something that's real basic that everybody can understand. So if you don't understand what's going on right now, and if I say something that's totally out of your belief system, then just go over it again and check it out again because some stuff that I might say might just blow your mind, or you might just blank out and go like, I totally didn't get what that, or that was so far out. Like I totally didn't get that. Okay. um, but I need to teach multidimensionally because as we are learning this stuff, we are learning multidimensionally, or what some people would call holistically. So um, I am your subconscious mind is being attuned right now as we're talking. So there are some parts of you that will be like, oh, um, I can't mentally understand what's going on, but I emotionally understand what's going on, or something emotionally will be awakened, healed, grounds it. There's just a lot of different stuff going on at the same time when you're working with somebody like me. Okay. Right now, I'm channeling the Diksha light. This it always comes on when I am teaching. And the Diksha light is the light of the ascended masters, and it is to help other people connect to each other in all that is. It is a oneness light. So while I'm working, this stuff is going on. So there's so many different things that goes on at the same time. Okay. So basics. A lot of people want to go the fast way when it comes to psychic development. And I always say that it is actually super boring. There is a part of it that is very um, about practice. There's a part of it that is about humility and slowing down and grounding and patience. Okay. And you're building this over time, because a lot of the energy that comes in, a lot of the stuff that comes in is very subtle. And you have to learn how to listen and to pick up the subtle images or thought patterns or emotions that come in. It's not always um, big rides to Kennywood Park or to, to Disney Worlds. It's not always a ride like that. Sometimes, I'm not saying that sometimes it can be a ride like that for sure. But there is a part of your body that will only allow certain experiences to happen. Okay. And it's important for you to know that that's okay. Meaning that if you're going, oh, I just really want to be clairvoyant and I really want to see ghosts and stuff like that, and you're not experiencing it, it's because your body is like, no way, you're not ready for that. You're not. And also, once you open up to all this stuff, then you're in it for the long haul. You're in it, you have to learn how to manage it, but it's not something that you can just stop or turn off. Okay. Yay! The Lady Kendra is here. Right. So we're just going into psychic development, So meditation is really awesome. So I tell people to meditate all the time, because it's a way of listening to your body and listening to what's going on. And a lot of people are just like, oh, I can't do it. 10 minutes. If you could just try 10 minutes a day, it's really, you can go in and you can see what's going on. 10 minutes, or yoga. If you can do a yoga pose that you like for, just commit to doing yoga for 10 minutes a day, it will be totally helpful for you. You'll connect to your body. You'll be able to ground the energy in, which is super important. Okay. Because we want to develop our abilities in a grounded way, in a way that feels safe. And that way, it will be a continuous energy and it will feel safe to you. So it's not that ride, okay? Or when the ride does happen, you'll be grounded enough to understand it and integrate it in a holistic way. Okay, so it won't drain your energy, you won't lose your mind. Okay, you'll be able to make sense of what's going on. So do your homework. This is what I tell everybody. Do your homework. And I'm really, for next year, I'm really wanting people who are in it to win it, and have done their homework and are really committed to doing their homework. Seriously, if you come to me with the same problems, or you're coming to me and I asked you, hey, did you do your homework, and you say no, can't do anything with that. And it's time for me to work with people who are ready to fly. And I'm serious. The seriousness. Okay. Someone has said to me early. I was having a conversation with someone, and they said, in a debate with people, oh, it's, just let people be ignorant. And I'm not down with that. I'm not. I'm not down with letting people be ignorant. And as far as psychic development goes, everybody is psychic. Everybody can develop these abilities. Yeah, some people are more talented than others, but we all really need each other in order to empower ourselves and develop these abilities. At the bottom line, when you start to develop this stuff, that you will understand is universal consciousness, is that we are all connected. You will learn this over and over again. You can't do this without understanding that. That's a theme that will happen over and over again. Okay. And there will also be paradoxes as well. And you will understand that there are deep paradoxes within the way that we think about things. And that will be up for questioning, and it will be up for healing the way you think about things. Meaning your belief systems. Okay. Where are you with your belief systems? It will be put in check. Okay. So that's what's up. Shaking it up. And some of you might be triggered when your belief system gets messed up. Okay. You'll get triggered. And that's awesome. That's what we want. We want to shake it up a little bit so that you can open your minds. Open your mind. Some people can just open it. Some people have to crack it open. Same with the heart. When we're becoming more empathetic, it is about opening our hearts. So let's look at where we are in the collective. And so I'm going to be throwing archetypes at you so that you might understand it in a deeper way, right? Than me just telling you, oh, just meditate, or let's go do an exercise of meditation or something like that, right? Because we understand things through story archetypes. Okay, it's deeper, or one way to understand it. But right now, collectively, if we're looking at the stars, we are going into a full moon. Okay, it's a full moon on the 22nd. It's a full moon in Cancer. Cancer is in the North Node. It is on a winter solstice. It is going to make you feel very, very sensitive and very, very vulnerable. It is going to awaken within you your heart, and opening up your heart and opening up your vulnerabilities. So there's of course, a bunch of different things, different sides to that. One is that it can make you more empathetic. It can make you feel deeply by opening the heart. So if you've got resistance to opening your heart, if you've got stuff that you're working on, that stuff might come up for you in order for you to be open. It's going to ask questions like, how are you taking care of your inner child? Or how are you taking care of your inner baby? How are you mothering yourself? Okay, these are the feelings that will come up. How am I nurturing myself? Okay, and as these feelings come up, as you're feeling vulnerable, then we start to go into Christmas. And Capricorn season, and how things are manifesting the dad. So it's like the mother and the father. the divine feminine and the divine masculine at the same time. So let's get into empathy again. So I've gone into empathy before. So if a lot of you who have seen this before, or seen me talk about this or teach before, um, I go into it again and again. So, because it's super important right now, it's super important. So, there are just a lot of empaths right now. A lot of empaths are being born again or awakening, whatever you want to call it. And this moon is going to definitely attune more empaths. Hallelujah. So that we can all start to feel each other's vibes so that we can feel more empathic about or empathetic about the stuff that's going on in the world. So we can stop hating each other and feel for each other instead, or be so deep into our hearts that we switch that energy around from hate to love. Hallelujah. Okay, so we're coming into being empathic, and what that is about is coming into the divine feminine, the goddess. Yes, it is time for the rise of the goddess. The rise of the goddess, the divine feminine. And a lot of people feel, have a lot of different views about that, especially when it comes to the women's movement that's happening right now. A lot of men feel like this is something that is going to, they feel very insecure about this. But the rise of feminine, the rise of the goddess, the matriarch, is about the balance of male and female energy. So there cannot be a rise of a goddess unless there is the rise of the divine male as well, the divine masculine. And this, here we have it. We are going into Cancer moon, full moon, and Capricorn, the mother and the father at the same time. Hallelujah. We are rebirthing something beautiful. Okay. Hi. Yes. It's time to get into the vision that we are all been wanting for such a long time now. Okay. The time has come. Yes. Savannah's a Cancer sun. Yes, I'm talking about that. Talking about you Cancers. So you know what I mean. It's about being sensitive right now. So people are going to be more sensitive. So, let's talk about being an empath. We'll get into that really quick. Then I need to tell you some stories that will be very helpful. Being an empath right now around this time of year, it's so hard. It's so hard because you have to be around your family and you got all of these pressures from your family and you're feeling, and with family, you merge with them so easily, because you've known them forever, and you easily merge with them. They easily will trigger you. Okay, if you're, around your family during the holidays or something like that, Um, for me, it is very hard for me to go into stores that have Christmas carols, um, because I work with angels and stuff like that. So for me, it's a deeper thing than just going shopping. It'll be like, it'll be like silent night, holy night, and I'll be like crying and stuff. Mushy. This is a mushy, mushy time. Okay, mushy time. So sometimes you might feel like you want to run away or you want to hide because that's what the empath feeling is. Because there's so many emotions going on, so many expectations about what this time is supposed to be, and you're supposed to act this way and feel this way, feel a certain way. Okay, and then people feel super depressed when they're not around. Um, yes, Crystal Star, it is okay to cry. Cry hard, man. Everybody should cry. That's a cancer full moon. Cry hard. Yes. Let those emotions flow, because you're gonna feel all the stuff that's going on worldwide, all the expectations about how things are supposed to be. It's an excellent time to ask questions about your belief systems and the world at large's belief systems. Right now, it's Christmas time. I don't know if some of you know this. Some people already know that I'm preaching to the choir. But Jesus Christ was not a Capricorn. He was not born around this time. They changed the time of his birth to be around the time of the winter solstice, so that all the pagan people, the earth people, would conform to Christianity. It would be easier for them to conform to Christianity because everybody would be celebrating the high holidays around this particular time. So that's why around the winter solstice, a few days later, is Christmas time. Okay? So when we get into Christ consciousness, we're talking about self-realization. If we can take it out of an altruistic point of view, I know it's really hard for Christians to understand this, but we're taking it out of an altruistic point of view, and we're just going way deeper into self-realization and you realizing who and what you are. Who are you? What are you? What the heck is going on? Self-realization, self-love. Let's take it back to the Cancer full moon. How are you loving yourself? How are you loving yourself? How you're loving yourself reflects how you love other people. So when you're having relationship problems, that's reflective of how you're loving yourself. Now is the time of the light. So winter solstice is the days are growing longer and the light is coming in. So on that day, on the 22nd, when the moon is full, we will have the light of the moon and the light of the sun. It's such a huge day for light. It's a portal of light, a portal of love. Are you ready? Right. For your heart's opening and your heart's expansion, because that's what's happening. Okay. I'm always telling empaths to go deeper into their empathy. And so I'm going to just say it again. When you're an empath and you are feeling other people's emotions, when you are merging, depending on what level of empathy that you're at, as a basic way of going deeper into your own compassion, when you're feeling other people's emotions, you need to ask them how they're feeling. You need to check in. This is also a way for you to track who you are and track what's going on with your empathy. So somebody is around you and you're like, ooh, they're angry. They're angry at me. You have to have enough guts to go up to them and say, excuse me, how are you feeling? No shame, no shaming them, no saying, I know you're angry. You just have to be neutral and give them emotional freedom to express how they think they are feeling. They might say, I feel frustrated, which is a different interpretation of what you are interpreting as their feelings. Okay? So you're just allowing them to have that space of being frustrated. Then you ask them what's going on with them. Why are you feeling frustrated? And they're going to say it's something at work or something, but it may not have anything to do with you. Okay? It may not have anything to do with you. So that will free you up so that you won't have to take everything so personally. Okay? It's about emotional freedom. We're going deeper into emotion so that we can have emotional freedom. So everybody can have emotional freedom. So we can hold space for each other emotionally in these vulnerable times. Holding space for each other emotionally is the most compassionate thing that we can do right now. So, but that holding space gets you out of the frame of mind of shame, blame, and judgment. Because we really can't move forward. We can only move forward so far with that. Now, I'm not saying don't be discernful, because we do need to be discernful. And I'm not saying don't know your history, because we do need to know our history. Oh, please. We do need to know what happened before us. Okay? It's super, super important. So, two things that have happened that are connected with this moon that we're going into, or one thing. So, I'm going to tell you this story because it relates so much to some of the archetypes that are around us right now. So, we're in Sagittarius season, which is about philosophy. So, sometimes I'm going to tonight bring up some philosophies, some things that will help us with our mental intuitives, help you grow your minds, help you grow your mental intuitive. Okay. And I'm also going to get into story. Okay. So this story has been in my mind for the whole Sagittarius season. And it has to do with, we're going to take it back to King Arthur. So King Arthur, we're going to take it back to the time of Avalon and the time of the goddess. And this very sensitive time when Christianity was taking over, and it was the fall of the goddess was happening. Well, basically, King Arthur was told that he had to go to war with the rest of the pagan lands, and that he had to turn them over and he had to make them Christians. Okay, so he had no choice. Now, if those of you who know the story of King Arthur and know the true story, is that Arthur he's half from Avalon, and Avalon is the land of the goddesses. Okay, they're more pagan in style. They're earth lovers, and he's half Christian. And the reason why he is set up like that is so that he would remember the pagan side of himself. And so he denies that side of himself and says, okay. And he does it because he's doing it for, of course, more sustainability within his kingdom, this is what he is thinking is going to be helpful for him. So he makes the choice to, okay, we're going to go to war with the rest of the pagan lands, and we are going to turn them over into Christ lovers, and kill them if they're in love with the earth, if the earth is their church. Um, the goddesses, the priestesses of Avalon have found out about it, and we're like, okay, well, we can't have this. We really need to do something in order to try to stop Arthur from doing this. So many people will be killed. He's trying to wipe us out. So what they did was they got Morgaine, otherwise known as Morgan Le Fay. Now, most of you know her. She's being evil, but of course, she is a very complicated character because she came from Avalon. She came from the island of the priestess, of the goddess, the women who celebrate the divine feminine. So Morgan Le Fay, who is also, Le Fay means of the Fae. Morgaine is half fairy. That's a whole nother story. So anyway, they asked Morgaine, said, will you just do this one thing for us, and we really need you to do it. We need you to embody the goddess Curdwin. And she said, okay, I'll do it. And Curdwin is a goddess of rebirth, okay, and inspiration. So they do this ritual, and she's also the goddess of the cauldron. So they do this ritual around the cauldron. So when you see witches and stuff and they're around the cauldron, that's all Curdwin, symbolic of Curdwin, the cauldron, the pot, the vessel, okay? They call upon Curdwin, and Morgaine channels her, okay, and turns into this creature that kind of looks like a huge white dove, like gigantic white dove, okay? She goes to the knights at the round table and she bursts through their meeting, and they're all like, what the hell is that? What is going on? What kind of magic is this? And she inspires them to look within their hearts for love. And she says, the love that is in your heart is out there, and you have to find it. When you find it, you will be so inspired. You will be so fulfilled. Everything will come to you. You will have so much abundance of heart, abundance of mind, all the things, all the healing that you want in your life, it will come together. You must find the Holy Grail. Okay, so I know you guys know the story of the Holy Grail. So these knights are like, what? Now you have to understand that all of these knights are coming from a system of honor. They're coming from a system of, or a culture, I would say, of honor and love and respect, and everything is coming from the heart. So to be able to rebuild your heart, to be able to go deeper into your heart and deeper into love was something that was of importance to them. Okay? Now, Christianity was kind of saying that, right? Through the books, through Christ, through the Bible, they were getting that. But when Curdwin came into the room like that, like this gigantic dove talking to them, saying, the love is within you, they were like, okay, I believe you. This is what I believe. And so she sent those knights out to find the Holy Grail, okay, which is a chalice in a cup. And those of you who know the tarot, the chalice in the cup is the Ace of Cups. It is about self-love. It is about renewal, creativity. So they go out and they search for this cup. And Arthur's like, what the hell? What happened to my best knights? What happened to my knights? I'm trying to do this war and they're gone. He can't find them. They're all gone. None of them could ever find it because, of course, the Holy Grail is already within you. The love is inside of you. Okay? Some of them went crazy trying to find this, trying to find this. But the love is already there. It's already inside them. They didn't need to run away to look for it. Okay? But what this did was it slowed down the takeover of Christianity, which eventually did happen. And then the goddess culture fell. And we went into what we now know and call the patriarchy or the illusion of the patriarchy. Okay? So, with that story, what I'm trying to say to you is follow your heart, open your heart. Where is your heart taking you? Okay, where is your heart taking you? What are the stories of your heart? Where are you in relationship? How can you more authentically connect to others emotionally, or emotionally connect to others in a more authentic way? Yes. How can you connect to others in a more authentic way emotionally? Because we are changing up our emotional worlds right now. We are going deep. We are going way deeper than we've ever explored before as far as where we're going emotionally. Some emotions cannot even be explained, and that's okay. So if you ask somebody how they're feeling, they're like, I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling. It's totally fine. Just let people just be, I don't know. Okay, cool. You don't know. We are very limited in understanding of our emotional selves and our emotional bodies because the emotion is like the ocean. It's so deep and vast. And we're still, all of us, explorers. And we're about to go deeper because we all need to get into our empathy right now. We are all about to go into being empaths. And we are all about to, as well, learn how to integrate our empathy with our other psychic stuff that's going on. Okay? Our other psychic stuff. Psychic stuff. Like let's talk about clairvoyance. Okay, psychic seeing. That's what clairvoyance means. Psychic seeing. Let's talk about visions and there's different levels of having a vision. And everybody has them differently. Okay? Edward Casey, he's a famous psychic. He says that be your own mystic. And that's what this class is about. People learning to be their own mystic. You being able to understand your own symbolic messages, your own visions, and integrate them into your system. Real important. Real important. Next level. Okay? And just be patient with where you're at with that. Dreams. Let's talk about dreams. and different levels of clairvoyance. And this is kind of where I left off on the last class. And I was going into being a middle intuitive. Um, when I grew up, I always talk about my mom because my mom was psychic. And so I grew up in this world of like the sixth sense. Somebody going, I tell this to people all the time because you have to, you have to know this. I grew up in the world where, and she was very clairvoyant, but she was clairvoyant like sixth sense style, where she'd see ghosts walking around. So I grew up like that movie Sixth Sense. The little boy that's like, oh, I see a ghost. I grew up like that. But my mom, she was also very into dreams, and she would ask me every morning what I would dream. Oh, curious folks, I just told a story about Curdwin and the and the knights finding the Holy Grail. But anyway, so my mom, she used to ask me about my dreams, and we would have a discussion every morning about what I would dream. And I would tell her my dream, and she would say, "Well, what stuck out the most?" And so I asked my students that when they tell me about their dreams, what stuck out the most? And how did you feel? Okay, what stuck out the most and how did you feel? So dreams are a form of clairvoyance where you're starting to understand through images. You're getting story through images. Some people say that your dreams come from your body, and so I'm into that somewhat, except for when you're dreaming about the collective unconscious. When it's a collective dream, some dreams are literal. Some dreams are prophetic. Um, it's definitely worth tracking. So, meaning writing down your dreams. So that's your homework. Write down your dreams. I've been writing down my dreams for years and years and years. So I know the symbology of my dreams. I know what's going on. But because I am, hi, oh my God, I love you so much. I love there's so many superstars here. Oh my God, and the superstars, superheroes, activists, all these people who are just doing such wonderful things. I'm so super psyched and honored to be helping people or telling people about this stuff. I love you so much. You guys are great. You guys don't even know. I have people who are on here who inspiring artists. I have people who are on here who are building communities, futuristic communities of love and peace and sustainability. I have moms on here that are putting in the time, who care about their future. Yeah, I love you too, Crystal Star. Yes. So I got to shout out to all of you, like moms and dads and people who are really making a change. So I'm like preaching to the choir here. But at the same time, I hope to inspire everybody, because our superheroes really need to be inspired, because and know that and the reason why I'm telling you about each other is because you need to know there's more than one person. There's more than one of you out here who are doing wonderful things and who are there for each other, So anyway, so my mom, we're talking about clairvoyance, dreams. My mom being psychic, and that's how she told me. That's how I learned about clairvoyance, was through my dreams. So she would always say, what was in the dream, How did you feel? What stuck out the most? And eventually she would tell me, especially when I had my shamanic initiation, which is a whole nother story. Woof. Oh. People talk about shamanism and are like, "Ah, I want to be a shaman." I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Um, so when I had my shamanic initiation, commonly a shamanic initiation happens through dreams. It happens through clairvoyance or a life or death experience, or a near death experience. Okay. Um, but when I had mine, basically I was going out of body. I was doing astral travel, or my body, I was wanting to do astral travel, but I would get stuck between realms. So I'd be having a dream, and then all of a sudden I'd feel the weight of my body, and I'd be like, oh, I can't move. I feel like my body was like 1,000 pounds. I think I'm sure so many people have experienced this now. Um, but that's kind of, they call it, sometimes they call it sleep paralysis. So anyway, so this was happening, and then I was also dreaming at the same time, and my mom would say, "Well, you need to change the dream." And this was happening for like a month. My shamanic initiation was a long time. I thought I was going to die. She said, "You need to change the dream," which meant that I had to become a lucid dreamer like that. And the only way that you can become a lucid dreamer is if you do it. Nobody can do it for you. You have to figure it out. And I was 14 when that happened, and I had no idea how I was going to do it. All I was worried about was getting enough sleep, because at this point I really wasn't sleeping. I was just going out of body for a month, and I was exhausted. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my mind. So, how to become lucid? How to become lucid in the dream, you have to know that you're dreaming. So, you have to train your brain before you go to bed to go, I'm going to know when I'm dreaming. Okay, some people say you can use your hands, or use something, look at a watch, or look at your hands. I think is the easiest way that people have said to do it. Try to look at your hands in the dream. Um, but you have to be awake within the dream and know that you're dreaming. And then you can change the dream, and you could do all kind of funky things after that. Or then that also opens up remote viewing and stuff like that. I always say just set some type of intention when you're at that level, some kind of intention, or something that you want to learn, because there's always, different levels and different learnings. So meaning that there are some people who can, yes, I love you so much. There's so many people that are at different levels of this stuff, and that's because we take things in different levels. So that means that some people will have already astral traveled, but they're not lucid dreamers, or um, they've experienced something ecstatic emotionally, um, but they're not a mental intuitive. Okay. So, what this is about is trying to figure out where you are psychically, and then work on what you got, try to integrate it, ground it, and then start working on the other stuff. And also to, set intentions also with stuff too. So, where I'm at with dreaming because of the shamanic experience is, yeah, so I know my dreams, I've been writing them down, I know the symbols, I know the language of my subconscious mind. Now, and it's always a mystery too, meaning that your dreams they'll always do something crazy. The subconscious mind, it's just it'll always, your subconscious mind is always to blow your minds, you know? That's why it's the subconscious. You're going deep. And there, and you also have to understand that the way of which I'm talking about these things are also thought up by some dudes. Okay? So when I'm talking about subconscious mind, that's Jung who made that up. Even though I love him, he's great. He did make that up. Okay? You have to ask your subconscious mind if it wants to be called subconscious mind someday. If you get into like more paradoxical stuff. Right? Um, yeah, okay, so you're going into your subconscious mind, you're going around in there, and it's always mystery. So I've been doing this for years and years and years, and there's always cool things that happen, or bugged out things that happen, or something to learn for sure. Okay, for sure. It goes into what Jung calls also the collective unconscious, which is what everybody else is dreaming. And this goes back to the theory that we are all connected. Okay, not that we are all one, but we are all connected to each other and all that is, and to source, whatever that is. Okay, so I'm going to bounce around, just like I said before, I'm bouncing around. Let's go into the mental intuitive. Okay, that's into clairvoyance a little bit, and that's how we can at least integrate it. So the mental intuitive, that's the person that's super smart who can figure things out. Okay, it's totally different than what we were talking about before, which is the empath, the person that's can feel things. Okay, the mental intuitive is like Einstein, someone who is thinking outside of the box, someone who is critically thinking, someone who is creatively thinking. Okay, this is the mental intuitive. I'm always trying to kind of ignite that within everybody so that we can have a means of critically thinking the philosophies that are around us right now, because it's really up for the changing right now. And the reason why it's up for the changing right now is because the emotional levels that are going to come in with this full moon are going to be so deep that our philosophical systems are not going to be able to integrate it. And we will have to come up with new philosophical systems. We will have to come up with new philosophical systems to understand and embody the new emotions that are coming in. So it's super important to look at what our philosophical systems are to begin with. Okay, so let me just think of one. What is okay? I already brought some up, so we can just question everything that I brought up. Break yourself down, right? Divine feminine. What does that mean? I brought that up. Divine feminine. A lot of people, you got to think, a lot of people are throwing a lot of different things around. Twin flame. There you go. There's one. What does that mean? Twin flame. Okay. Anything that you can question can be broken down. That means it has a loophole in it philosophically, and most philosophies do, right? Twin flame. Some people just swear by the twin flame. And you have to understand, if you look at history before twin flames, there were soulmates. There weren't twin flames. That philosophy was you find your soulmate, and then, all was good. Soulmate and twin flame philosophy, totally different philosophy. But yet they're both a little altruistic in the fact that they start off as there's only one, which is the same as to have or to hold. So that means that if you find your soulmate and then it doesn't work out, then, oh, that's the end of the world. Same with twin flame. If it doesn't work out with your twin flame, then that's the end of the world. I have found many soulmates, thank goodness, because if we're all connected to each other and all that is, then everything that we're connected to is the soulmate. My body, my body, this my soulmate. This is where my soul lives, in this house, in this universe, in this organism that I don't really truly understand all of it or how all of it works all the time. Something's beating my heart. Going on? Like, this is, where we start to question, we have to question our belief systems. I've been in the twin flame dynamic for sure, for sure. All aspects of the philosophies that are going out there have I've seen them. But of course, not one, but many. At least 3 times I've fallen to what they say a twin flame relationship would be like. And they say it's supposed to be like you meet someone and your souls are the same. They're, you're twins. And it's very, very passionate. And it's evolving your soul as you are feeling it. Okay, this is the philosophy. And you're growing. And it's burning up the karma from all the past lives and past lives. What is that? Is that true? Because if past lives are true, then we're asking questions about time and space. We know time is relative, and that's totally questionable. Time is questionable. Does time really exist? Because there are so many different time systems. So the dynamic between the twin flame is that you're evolving each other's souls through the process of relating. Okay. But I think the question is about relationships and how we're relating, and can we create authentic partnerships, and what is that like, and what is that about for us, because that is ultimately the philosophy of the age of Aquarius. Being our true authentic selves means, how are we loving each other authentically? So that means that we are creating different styles of relationships that are different from what we are being told to be in. So it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm saying that, um, because it's always the spectrum always goes like this. It's either to have or to hold, or it's to love everybody. So people tend to think, I need to have this one person, it needs to be monogamous, or it needs to be polylolly. And now more people are going, okay, well, wait, hold on. I don't really love myself. I'm being very honest, but I don't really love myself. Hold on. I trying to love like all these people, and I don't really love myself, or I'm trying to love this one person, and I don't know how to love myself yet. Okay. So that's a part of it. How do we love ourselves? How do we love ourselves when we've been in the dynamic that you need somebody else in order to feel love to begin with? And what part of ourselves are still in that paradigm? And how can we make that um, difference? Yeah, so Savannah's talking about how to meet your divine masculine. So for me, um, so for those of you who are on Instagram, I am on Facebook right now as well, and I'm also on YouTube on Smoky Fantastic, and because It's about to turn me off on Instagram. I love you so much, but either go to my YouTube channel, Smoky Fantastic, where I'm live, or Facebook, where I'm live, and you can watch it. There it is. I'm gonna share it. Instagram, bye Instagram. Okay, so how do you love yourself better? Good question, Savannah. How to meet your divine masculine. Yeah, how do you love yourself better? How you love yourself better is you start to ask yourself questions about what do you need as far as nurturing yourself? What are your needs? What's the difference between your needs and wants as far as loving yourself? What do you truly need? And you also have to look at yourself as a multidimensional person because there are many aspects of yourself. Okay. For example, I have I'm me, Bobby, as a creative person. I'm also me as in my inner child. I'm dealing with my inner child. How do I support my inner child? It's to have fun and be creative. Okay. How do I just on a basic level, am I eating enough food, the right food that I need to survive? Am I sleeping well enough? Am I physically taking care of myself? Um, those types of things, are just real basic self-love. I call it exquisite self-care. What do I need in order to maintain myself in a way that I feel good? What makes me feel happy? You're questioning yourself, what makes me feel happy? What truly makes me feel happy? Okay, so important. Taking that time to rest and, what are my values? What do I value in my life? Okay. For me, I also celebrate my divine masculine as well. I've spent many years celebrating my divine feminine, but now I celebrate my divine masculine as well. So, what does my divine masculine? I value my divine masculine's point of view, man, way more than I used to. And that has changed my life dynamically. Okay. Just being really honest about that with myself. Going, yeah, there is a part of me that's just as I am feminine, that's very, very masculine. Okay. So, how am I fathering myself? Would be the question. How can I mother myself better? How can I parent my own self better before I take care of other people? So important, especially if you are a person who um, is helping people all the time. You have to take care of yourself so that you can be there to help them. Okay, so you have the resources to help them. Okay, so questioning and philosophical stuff, belief systems and stuff like that, super important. So another dream that I had, because what I'm doing with my dreams right now is dream programming. Okay. So that's when you ask a question to your dreams the way you would the tarot or something like that, as divination, to find out what's going on. So you might ask the dream, what can I do about this relationship that I'm in? And you dream on it. And you write down your dream, what happened, you ask yourself before you go to bed certain questions. Okay. And the other night, this wasn't a dream, uh, one that I had asked a question about, but it was an unconscious, it was a or collective conscious dream, what I would say. Um, I dreamt that I was, um, I don't know if Holly is on this or not. Holly, if you're on here, you were in that dream. Somebody, y'all be in my dreams. Some people or some of my friends, they're like superstars or in my dreams. They're like, it's like a TV show. There's like special guests. I'll be in my dream. Um, but I dreamt that I was traveling with a bunch of people, and basically I got left by the group of people, and I got left with one of my friends. And we're like, oh, they left us. Bummer, you know. Well, how are we gonna get back to where we were supposed to go? And um, they said, oh, well, you know what? There's a pool. And I'm like, yay, there's a pool. That means we get to go swimming. Yay. You know, because in my dreams is a constant thing. I don't know if y'all know. Well, you guys know I'm a fairy, but I'm also a mermaid. And so in my dreams, I'm always trying to go to the water. And so in my dreams, I'm always looking for a pool, or I'm always at the ocean or going trying to get to the ocean. And so they're like, there's a pool, you know, go to the pool. So we go to the pool, and in the pool is this gigantic woman having a baby. Giant woman having a baby. She fills up the whole entire pool. It's a big pool. And they take the baby out first. And I'm like, ooh, what's that? Oh, because it's all bloody and it's got like placenta and stuff on it. I'm like, ooh, oh, that and it's also huge, okay, because it's a giant. And then they pull the woman out. Okay, and I'm like, oh, what the heck's going on? This woman is she's a giant. You know, and then like everybody's like, "Oh, yay, let's go swimming now. We can go swimming now. They got out of the pool. Let's go swimming." And the pool is, you know, filled with placenta and blood and stuff. And I'm like, uh, I don't know. And people were sitting in the pool and they're like putting their feet in it and like, la la la, oh, this is so fun. And I'm like, oh, I don't think I want to put my feet in the water. And it was kind of like when you go to another country and they have a different custom that's like different from what you're used to, and you're not sure if you want to like do it or not. So that's kind of how I felt. And so yeah, so it was like, yeah, so it was a collective. The reason why I say it was a collective dream is because we are in the North Node is in Cancer, which is all about the mother. The mother. How are we mothering ourselves? And here I have this gigantic mom having a gigantic baby, right? So it's time to rebirth and time to, you know, those things come up with that one. And this was just recently. This was this week. This week's dreams have been very, 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 very good. Um, yeah, the one I had last night was programmed. So I'll tell you about this program dream that I had. So I programmed the dream before I go to bed. And I said to myself, like the question was, what does my body need? What does my body need? And I asked this question because I was reading about Edward Casey, and you should read about him because he's the most famous psychic um, in the world. And his ideas was that when you dream, it comes from your body. It's your body talking, trying to talk to you. So I said, okay, well, what does my body need? So that was the dream that I had or programmed last night before I went to bed. And so the dream that I had last night was that my mom, who passed away, and my brother, I was living with them, and my brother was younger, okay, much younger, like a little kid still. And I was living with them, and they kept on telling me that there were ghosts in their room. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me do something about this. Let me try to get rid of them or whatever. So I got some sage, and I was like saging the place. I was like, get out of here, ghosts, go away. They're trying to sleep. And then I decided that I wanted to spray down the room. And I went and I got some rose water and I started spraying it around the room. And then I went and I was like, oh, I know I'm going to get some lavender. And so I got a little lavender and I started putting it in the spray bottle, and I tipped it in and too much fell in, like almost the whole jar fell in. And I'm like, "Oh, no," and then I said, "Welp, I guess I must have needed it." And then I woke up. Guess I must have needed it. So it was the lavender. So that was the answer to my question. My question was, what does my body need? Lavender. That's what my body needed. I was thinking it was going to be something juicier than that, but it was lavender. So I guess I'm gonna get some more lavender. And um, I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all because if you, I love lavender, and I know that I love lavender. But if you look at lavender as a symbol, and you look at lavender magically, and also what it physically can do to your body, besides what everybody knows, which is just like to calm you down and to calm down your nerves. Um, there's lots of information. This is very, very, very helpful. So that was, boo, that's there. There you go. Dream programming. Okay, you guys should try it. Try to write down your dreams, remember your dreams, see if you can write down your dreams for a month. I've been writing down my dreams for a super, super long time because I get like epically into stuff. Um, so I've been writing down my dreams for like years. If you can do it over a long period of time, it's really good because seriously, you'll start to understand the symbols of your subconscious mind. So when you start to do clairvoyant work without it being in the dream time, like if I'm having a session with someone and I start having visions instead of dreams, then some of the symbology from your dreams you'll be able to understand, or you'll be able to read tarot better, or any type of symbolic divination. You'll be able to understand it better if you understand your dreams, because a lot of these symbols, like Jung said, are from the collective unconscious, and we're all dreaming the same stuff, basically. So, going to start to wrap it up. Today, I touched upon a bunch of different things: archetypes, meditation, um, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, asking what is that? Knowing that the divine feminine and the divine masculine are something that have to come up together, because that is the way of the goddess. That is the way of the divine feminine, is the balance of the male and female energy. Okay? They come up together. One doesn't dominate the other. It's about equality. So you need to ask yourself, where are you at with equality? Okay? This is a Christ consciousness time. It's also the time of the angels. I work with angels all the time. Um, I wasn't really into Christianity or working with angels, but I do work with angels, and I do work with Christ consciousness. It's deep. It's deep. Like, I never, especially Christ consciousness, I never ever thought that I would be working like that. But once you start, once I started to have dialogue, um, through, doing sessions with people who were asking me, wanted to talk to Jesus or Jezua. Um, there's a lot of information uh, came through with deep stuff that really blew my mind. Like, I had no idea. A lot of the stuff that I'm doing right now, or that I do, like, it's just like very sci-fi, or it's like I have no idea, like um, what's going to be happening. Um, so I'm just looking over my notes here just to make sure that I haven't forgotten anything. Yeah, this is just kind of going into relating and relationships and stuff like that with the North Node being in Cancer and empathy again. So one of the questions I have is, would you like someone to think the way you think, or would it be better if they felt what you feel? Would you like someone to think how you think? So we think the same, or feel how you feel. We feel the same about each other. Just think about that question a little bit, because a lot of times when I do relationship coaching with people, they'll always say, "God, I love them so much, but we're not on the same page. We don't think alike." So think about that question a little bit. Does anybody have any questions? I don't know if I can see. I can't really see what's going on. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I can see Facebook, but I can't really see YouTube at the moment. I mean, I can see it, but I can't see the chats. I'm looking at the chat right now too, just to seeing what's going on here. Yeah, and a lot of this stuff that I'm telling you guys, like, you might have questions later, so it's totally cool if you would like to hit me up later, um, to ask me questions. Just like I said in the beginning, my prices will be going up ta-da-da, next year. But you guys can get a discount, especially if you book ahead of time. So if you book this month for something in April or whatever time in advance, as far as advance you want, you will get the discounts. Okay, so book now something before the prices go up for the psychic readings and sessions. And for the psychic development, it's pretty cheap. It's $1 a minute just to like sit down and if we're together, you can be on Skype as well. We don't have to be together in the same environment, but it's cool because you can, when you do one-on-ones, you can assess where you're at. I can assess where you're at and what level of awareness you're at, and also where your blocks are. I can kind of feel where your blocks are, and we can talk about your intentions and where you like to go and what you would like to flow in. And we talk about your homework if you're doing your homework. If you're meditating, yes, I think we did it. I think I'm looking over my notes just to make sure. Yeah, because I've had like, I think it's been 3 weeks since I've done, a class. And so I've been holding on to so much information. Yeah, yes, 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 darlings. Yes, darlings. Yeah, so next year I'll be teaching, same stuff, but going deeper, trying to get more into the transformative elements of all the stuff that I'm teaching. So I'll be doing dream theater. So if you're interested in dreams and clairvoyance, That's a great way to grow your clairvoyance is through dream theater. You're embodying it. You're up on your feet, um, working out your dreams and other people's dreams. Some of you have experienced that before, who are here, and it's quite dynamic, especially if you experience it over a long period of time. Begin to dream with everybody else that's the other actors that you're dreaming with or working with. Um, yeah, yeah, just the coolest things happen with that. The coolest things. Um, yeah. I'm fading and my mind is starting to blow itself, and I'm like going, "Oh my god," and that thing, and then I'm also starting to get downloads from other things. So I'm just gonna leave you with that because I think that that would be enough. But yeah, I'll be teaching tantra. I'll be teaching authentic movements. And my tantra that I'm teaching is all about transformation and liberation, and all are welcome, and all are invited to try and understand um, their own, sexual energy. It's super important. So you don't have to be a couple. There's a lot of tantric yoga is involved and building over time. And we talk about love and we learn about love. It's very safe. It's about divine intimacy, going deeper into intimacy, and it's super slow. Um, yeah, so I'll be teaching Reiki. I'll be teaching Reiki level 1, um, Reiki level 2, Reiki level 3. Be doing attunements that way. I'll be doing fairy attunements, which are just amazing. Fairy attunements, you are connecting with the Fae. That's just a whole nother thing. Um, Connecting with nature, it helps you, definitely helps your intuition skills because it's going to help you connect with nature in a deeper sense. And once again, once you start connecting with nature, you're going to be able to understand, be more clear about where your blocks are and stuff too when that comes up. But some of the benefits of working with the fairy is that they can help you learn things. They can help you to heal your body. It helps you to connect with plants and animals on a really deep level. Like I speak with plants and I have dialogue with plants and I have dialogue with animals. And speaking of animals, I'll do one more philosophy for y'all. Okay. I think, therefore I am. Okay. I know you guys have heard that before. I think, therefore I am. Socrates. A lot of the philosophical systems that are coming up or still come from that point of view. Even the law of attraction, especially the law of attraction. Let's use that because it's super new age and everybody knows it. My thoughts create my reality. It comes from I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore I am is very questionable. This is mental intuitive stuff. So if you're trying to grow your brain, you need to question things. You need to use inquiry, think outside of the box. And you need to understand where your belief systems are coming from. I think, therefore I am. It's questionable. It means because you think you are in existence. There are some of the main questions that people ask about that, or some of the paradoxes that come up with that, is are animals sentient? Do animals think? Do animals feel? Some of us are at different levels of awareness about this kind of stuff. So some people might be like, I believe in love and I want to like have a hug and I want everybody to hug each other and love each other, but animals don't think. What are you talking about? Animals don't feel. What are you talking about? So this is an important question. Where are you at with that? Some people even feel that the Mother Earth is alive, but the animals are not sentient. How is that possible? Is the Earth sentient? Can the Earth think and feel for itself? Is it a living, breathing organism? Okay. And when we are relating to the earth, that makes when we relate to the earth a different thing. And some of you, I'm preaching to the choir. You know this is a part of your belief system already, and you already know. You're like, yeah, I know the earth is alive, and the earth is healing me. And if it wasn't for the earth, I wouldn't even be alive. If it wasn't for the air that I'm breathing, I wouldn't even be alive. If it wasn't for the earth, hallelujah. So where are we? What is this planet? And how are we relating to this thing that we're on, but we don't even really truly know if it's alive, or we don't even know that much about it. Maybe we know a little bit about it. So, and how do we feel about our connection to the earth? That's this Cancer full moon that's coming up, is asking us, how do we feel about ourselves? How do we feel when we're relating to each other? How do we feel about our connection to the earth? And all of this is raising our level of empathy. And we're all growing as empaths. So that means that we're going to start feeling the earth. You're going to start feeling the mothership. You're going to be like, whoa, that plant just talked to me. I just felt that plant was upset. Okay? Use your your mental stuff to start to use inquiry to break down belief systems, and also to track what is going on with you. Use your scientists. We'll use archetypes. Use your inner scientist to track what's going on with you. Write it down. Write down your dreams. Write down what happened. Write down the synchronicities. Okay? Write it down when you critically think about something. Write it down when you're triggered. Track it. Track it. Meaning that you're writing down, okay, at 10 o'clock, somebody called me and I got triggered. It's a holiday season. So let's say Aunt so and so, she always says that one thing, and it always triggers this. And so you write down Aunt so and so plus this word triggers this. And so then you know what triggers you and who triggers you. Track it. That's emotional stuff, right? That's being an empath. Yeah, you're going to be triggered. Yeah, you're going to project as well. So empaths are heavy projectors. So that's why you need to check in and check and see, okay, what's really going on here, and ask yourself what's absolutely true about the story that is going on here, because most of the stories that are going on are multi-dimensional. Multi-dimensional. That's the world that we're living in. Multi-dimensional. And it keeps getting more and more complicated and hopefully beautiful at the same time. So hopefully we'll be able to embrace all the paradoxes so that we can make the changes that we really need to make, and be honest about what's really going on so that we can make the changes that we need to make. That's also empathy, is going, I don't feel this. I'm not feeling this to yourself. I can no longer push myself to be in this job because I'm too sensitive, or I'm not feeling this relationship. I'm pushing myself to be in it, but I'm not really feeling it. I'm trying to feel it. It seems like it could be perfect. It seems like it could be right, but I'm not feeling it. And I don't know what I want to feel. Okay? Keep asking yourself, breaking it down, and it's okay to be in a space where you don't know what to feel. Okay? But it's also, on the flip side, okay for you to go, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? And start taking leadership with how you want to feel about things. Plot twist. Plot twist. You're writing your own story. You're being your own mystic. You're creating your own mythology, your own archetypes, your own story. You're doing that. That's the age of Aquarius. We're sovereign in our own authentic nature to create the stories that we need to create for the next chapter. Because there's going to be so many other dynamics that are coming in that we need to be ready for. So these old stories are just not going to, it's either not going to matter or it's just going to be like, what? Especially to the little kids. They're going to be like, what? They're going to be like, what is racism? They're going to be like, what is that? We don't understand what it is. Like, seriously? They're going to be like, are you serious? That exists? They're not going to understand what that is. Because we're going to have a whole nother level of interacting that's coming up for us. Because we'll all be more empathic. We'll all be more telepathic. And then I'm not even going to talk about aliens or robots or the people from the future or the veil being thin. I'm not even going to talk about it. But how can we be ready for that stuff, which is really around the corner, if we're still dealing with like old story dynamics? All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that because this is like an hour and a half, and I was gonna do I was gonna just do an hour, and I just went over, but that was the last point that I wanted to make, and I wanted to make sure that I got in all of this stuff, and so I hope that I was helpful, and I know that I just want to thank all of you who are here because you guys are lovely. I love you so much. I know that all of you are superstars. I know that all of you are superheroes. I know all of you put in the time, and I'm doing this, out of love for all of you because I want all of you to be your own mystic and be really strong in who you are and your own belief system, just as a person and also as a psychic is growing into your psychic nature. It's about being empowered in that way. It's important for all of us to be growing and to be helping each other. So happy solstice. Yay! Happy solstice! I'm going to blast you off with some heart light. Okay, so for a few minutes here, last remaining maybe 3 minutes, I will blast you off with some heart light. And what the heart light does is it's like Diksha, where it connects you to all that is, but it also helps you to heal hearts and heal other people's hearts. So I thought this would be a good, thing to kind of end with. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm getting the message from the angels. They're singing me that song, Joy to the World. You're like, joy to the world, the Lord has come. You know, but the song, the part of it that I'm hearing the most is, let heaven and nature sing, let heaven and nature sing, let heaven and nature sing. Yes, hallelujah. I love you guys. Bye.